Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Crowd Chatter podcast. Today, as you maybe can't tell already, is going to be some NFL talk. First of all, before I really get this video started, a couple things. First of all, probably been a long time since you've heard from this podcast. I think the last video was done about a month ago. So there's a lot to do. I think the last videos actually were the NCAA football bowl games, so very long time ago. So it has been a while. We've all been really very busy. As for Jacob and Calvin, obviously Sam has, for the time being, left the podcast. As for why, I don't really know, but uh, I don't really know who else is it's we're gonna see if we can get everyone here together at some point. But as of right now, I'm still the one who I'm just gonna be the one doing it for the time being. I'm guessing. Um, we'll basically just see where it goes. But my family is sleeping, so I'm trying to be quiet and also loud at the same time, so you guys can hear me. So we have the NFL playoffs. If you guys have maybe not been paying attention to the NFL as much as I have, um, you'll figure out who will. I'll tell you what the NFL playoff teams are as I go through this video. You can already see who the one seed is for the NFC, and that is the Green Bay Packers at 13-4. For the rest of the NFC, you have number 2 is being the Tampa Bay Bucks, 3 Dallas Cowboys, 4 LA Rams. Those are all the division winners, of course. And then for the wild card, you have 5 Arizona Cardinals, 6 San Francisco 49ers, and then 7 the Philadelphia Eagles. That one still bewilders me. And the AFC side, number 1 seed Tennessee Titans, 2 the Kansas City Chiefs, 3 Buffalo Bills, and 4 the Cincinnati Bengals. Pleasant surprise there. And then for the wildcard teams, you have 5 Las Vegas Raiders, 6 New England Patriots, another surprise team, and then 7 the Pittsburgh Steelers, who that one bewilders me too. Anyway, we'll get into this video. We'll start with the NFC since we're right here. Of course, number 1 seed gets a bye. They do not play anyone during the wild card round. So let's go to the game right below it, and that is the LA Rams playing the Arizona Cardinals. This should be a really good game. Actually, you know what? I'll just put the Packers into the next round because technically they already are in the divisional round here. So I'll just put them there anyway. But the Rams and the Cardinals. So this is going to be a big one. This is the third round matchup of these two playing against each other. Both teams are going to want this one pretty bad. This is going to be in Los Angeles, of course. Round 3, Arizona. J.J. Watt might play this game. This is going to be a Monday night wildcard game. That is going to be really, really interesting and also really, really fun. Obviously, Martin Luther King Day being on January the 17th. So that included will be a lot of fun. So it's going to be intense. It's going to be a great game. I think it's a toss-up. Obviously, it's a playoff game. It's the third time these two will be seeing each other this season. I think both teams have what it takes to win. I'm gonna give the edge. I'm gonna give it to the Rams. I mean, this is a home game for LA. Matt Stafford has not won a playoff game in his entire career. So, he's going to want one pretty bad. He's going to want that win desperately. Kyler Murray, I think the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray will give the Rams all they can handle, but I think this is going to be like a last second field goal type game. Rams win it, or Cardinals. Could be either one, but I give the edge to LA being the home team. Now, of course, how the playoffs work. Obviously, the lowest the lowest seed plays the number one seed, and then the other two teams end up in the other game. So I'll adjust it accordingly when I go through. Next one, Dallas Cowboys and the San Fran 49ers. San Francisco, they had to win their last game of the regular season just to make the playoffs, and they beat the LA Rams. Of course, the Cardinals lost their game to Seattle. I don't know how. Me being a Seattle fan, I have no idea how in the world they lost to us. Maybe it's because they're at home. They can't win home games. But um, the Niners had to win their last game, which was in LA, in SoFi against the Rams, and they did. They won in overtime. Impressive game, or was it in overtime? No, I think it was in overtime. Yeah, big time win for San Francisco, and now they head to Jerry's World, AT&T Stadium, taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas finds himself back in the playoffs. Not really surprised that Dallas is back in the playoffs. I thought they would have a great season. They really have. Their defense has been incredible. I expect it to be better. I did not expect it to be this good, but it has been significantly better. We've seen Dallas kind of falter at different points during the season. They have not been, they haven't really been, I guess, consistent towards the end of the year. Obviously, that loss to the Arizona Cardinals did not look great. I think this is going to be another really, really intense game back and forth. I think, again, it's really anybody's game. I think this is another one where you can really pick either team. I don't think you would be wrong because I think Dallas certainly has the talent to win this game, to move on. They have a great offense. Their defense has been absolutely impeccable this year. And as for San Francisco, they've been probably one of the hottest teams to end the year. They did lose 2 games to Seattle, which again still bewilders me. But this is still a fantastic San Fran team. Their running room has been really good. Debo Samuel has been a force for them. Jimmy G's playing decent football. So San Francisco is very, very dangerous right now. They're playing probably their best football right now, and they do have a good defense too. So I again think this is anybody's game. I'm going with the hot San Fran Niners, though. I think they will just sneak away, take the win over Dallas. They ride that emotional win last week over the Rams against the Cowboys, and they knock them off in Jerry's World. It's a big. I think it is. It's probably not a popular upset, honestly. Well, it might be. It might be. I'm not sure, but I have the Niners, but again, as I said, probably for the last game, when I talk about Cardinals Rams, this is anybody's game. Could be either way, but I'm going to give it to San Fran. Both of those games, though, definitely are ones to watch. And then there's this game, the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Philadelphia Eagles. I have no idea how the Eagles made it to the playoffs, but they did. Tampa, obviously, everyone kind of expected. Tampa Bay, it'll be interesting to see how Tampa Bay looks in the playoffs. Because obviously, in that home game they had against the Saints, their entire team just disappeared due to injury. Leonard Fournette ended up getting hurt. No Chris Godwin. I think they lost a defensive player too, but Tampa Bay got ravaged by injuries in that game. Of course, Antonio Brown just went nuts for one. Decided to lose his mind for one game, and he's gone. So you have no Antonio Brown, you have no Chris Godwin, and you could be without Leonard Fournette as well. He is, I think, questionable. I don't know his status for the game, but you could possibly be without all 3 of those guys. Evans was hurt in that game too, but he's healthy now. So they have Mike Evans, and you'll have Gronkowski, and your running back is now Ronald Jones. that is a lot of switching around the offense to try and maneuver from what you had before, which was incredible. I mean, it'll be interesting, but I mean, against Philadelphia, I really how in the world did Philly get here? I mean, I guess because you look at the rest of the NFC teams and it's like you're looking at, I mean, the team that would have probably replaced them if Philly was not 9-8 would have been the Saints, which I don't need to tell you about their quarterback situation. So I guess you could really say, well, they're the best NFC team left, which that's really the truth. That's pathetic. Anyway, this should be an easy win for Tampa Bay. I have them blowing the Eagles out of the water. So, with the games that I have picked, that means Tampa Bay. Obviously, we'll move on there. The Niners being the lowest seed to win, will head to Green Bay, and this would send the LA Rams to Tampa Bay, which would be a fantastic matchup. So let's get on to my divisional round. So yes, I am picking all the different games here. So here's the divisional round. You got first the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. I think the Niners have learned from their last time. You can't give Aaron Rodgers, what was it, 37 seconds? You can't give him a lot of time or you will lose. I think they learned from that, but this is still Lambeau Field. I think Green Bay moves on to the NFC Championship game. I think the Niners make it close. They'll make it competitive, but Packers win in the end. And then this will be the game everyone wants to see. Tampa Bay and LA. The Rams and the Bucks. Brady versus Stafford and OBJ and the rest of the loaded LA Ram team. This is going to be a dogfight again. And I really think, once again, it could be anybody's game. The NFC has a lot of teams where are just playing really well right now. The Eagles are the only exception. They suck. The rest of the NFC is really good. So I think the NFC is going to be a crap ton of fun to watch. That's because of how good a lot of these teams are. Like San Francisco, I think they're very underrated. That's a really good Niners team. I'm a Seattle fan. I hate the 49ers and I hate the Rams. But that's a really good 49ers team. Mike Shanahan is a great Kyle Shanahan. I'm sorry, I had the wrong Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is a really good head coach. He's a wizard with what he does with those running backs back there. He is very, very smart, and he's very, very good. And the same goes for Sean McVay. He's a wizard, too. They're both very good head coaches. And I hate both their teams. I cannot stand either one. Anyway, enough of those two. Bucks, Rams. This is going to be a lot of fun. I really don't want to make another Tampa Bay Bucks Green Bay Packers matchup because the likelihood of that happening is, in my opinion, not high. But I'm gonna go with it again. I have Tampa Bay in the NFC Championship game. As I said, it's anybody's game, so it's hard to really say, oh well, that's what I'm expecting that. But it should be pretty close to it. I think it's possible that we could have an NFC rematch, same place, still Lambeau Field, the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Green Bay Packers. I think it'll be very close. This game, though, if this really does happen, I'd love to see it because that is going to be a great game in Raymond James. So that's going to be a really fun game. I think I have Tampa Bay coming out of that one by just a slight margin. And then that leads us to the NFC Championship game where we have a rematch: Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. Green Bay and Tampa Bay, both Bays. So just like last year, same NFC Championship game. This is going to be a lot of fun. Again, I say anybody's game. Green Bay has come. This is just a motto for the Packers now. They become the 1 seed. They win the divisional round, and then they get to the NFC Championship game and lose. Everybody pretty much just says every year they get to this point, and then it's like all of this just to lose in the NFC Championship game. It really has just become the Packers' motto. Just get the NFC Championship game, and then don't get to the Super Bowl. But Tampa Bay has lost a lot of players, and if there's any year that Green Bay is finally going to push through and break through and finally get that win that they have been looking for, as I said, anybody's game, either team can win. But I got the Packers. I think this year they don't get denied. They got some heat. They're a little heated after last year, falling short last season in the NFC Championship game, kicking the field goal, which still nobody understands. So I really think Green Bay they have a fire inside of them. They want to win. They badly want to win this game. And with a depleted Bucks team, missing a lot of guys, missing probably a good chunk of their offense, I think it hurts them. And I'm picking Green Bay to come up by literal inches. It's not. It's gonna be a dogfight to the end. And so now we go to the AFC. As I said, Tennessee Titans, the number 1 seed. Go figure. But they are on a bye this week, so it gives Derrick Henry plenty of time to actually get healthy, which is huge for Tennessee. Then we have a really interesting AFC, an AFC wildcard game, and this will actually begin the NFL playoffs. Saturday will be in 4 minutes here. This will begin the NFL playoffs of 2021. I guess technically 2022, but same thing. This is going to be really fun. Neither of these teams have really seen the playoffs in some time. I think this is the Raiders' first appearance since 2016, and might be the Bengals' first since 2015. So either way, these teams have been missing from the playoffs for at least a few years now. And both teams have made it back. The Bengals had locked up their division, so they were in regardless. They have won their division. I think that was for the first time since like 2013 or 14 or something like that. As for the Raiders, they won what was probably the most wild NFL game of the regular season. In the season finale, that was the best way to end the regular season, with the Raiders and the Chargers duking it out for the last playoff spot. Poor Chargers. Anyway, this game is going to be a ton of fun. I think this is, again, another game that could go, well, I think both teams have a good shot at winning this one, but I'm taking the Bengals. I think Vegas is going to give the Bengals a challenge in the jungle, but I think Cincinnati, out of all the teams that are in the NFL playoffs this year, my team, my dark horse pick, now this isn't my pick to win the Super Bowl, my dark horse pick to win the Super Bowl, Bengals. That is my dark horse pick to win the Super Bowl. This offense is absolutely incredible. It has been playing flawlessly. They're all young. Don't get me wrong. Joe Burrow's young. Jamar Chase is young. Joe Mixon really is even young. A lot of their team is very young, but their defense was really the thing that was not very good, and their offensive line is doing enough to give Joe Burrow time to get some throws down. And that ACL tear really has not seemed to really affect Joe Burrow that much. So that is huge for the Bengals. I think they win this one close in the jungle against the Raiders. And then we go to the Bills Mafia in Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills in another round 3 matchup playing the New England Patriots. Last time these two played in Buffalo, it was stupid weather. New England ended up winning with 3 passing attempts. It was the stupidest game. But this is going to be a really good one. I think the Patriots and Bills will, really all the NFL playoff games except for the 2v7 games, I think are all going to be dogfights. And this one's no exception. Round 3 game, these two hate each other. Patriots are back in the playoffs. They're trying to find their way back into the into the Super Bowl, prove that they can win without Tom Brady. Mac Jones at the helm, at quarterback now. This is going to be a load of fun. Uh, I'm going to take the Bills. I think the Bills Mafia gets it done at home. There's no extenuating circumstances this time. So, and they got a running game going. I mean, the issues for the Bills, or the issue for the Bills, was they did not have a running presence. They did not really have a running game going that was killing them in every single game. But they've got a running game seemingly going now. Devin Singletary has been playing really well. So the Bills are playing way better. They've won 5 straight. I think they continue to run that streak into this game, and they knock off the Patriots. Will be fun again. That's the second game. That's also on Saturday, but it's going to be a really good game. And then there's this game. The Kansas City Chiefs, the 2 seed, at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You see they have one tie there. You want to know who that tie was against? If you guessed the Lions, then you're right. Yeah, they tied the Lions. Yeah, the Cardinals lost to us too, but that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they made it in the playoffs. Don't know how. Really, the Chargers should be here, or the Ravens, or somebody else. I don't know. But they get to play the Chiefs. We saw this matchup a few weeks ago, and the Chiefs blew them off the face of the earth. I mean, it wasn't really even a contest. It was bad. Did I? Hold on. No, I don't think I did. Or no, wait, that looks wrong. No way, is that right? Yeah. No, I think it is right. Never mind. God, looks wrong. Anyway, Pittsburgh Steelers, Kansas City cheat. It's really bothering me. Anyways, I think that the last time these two met, the Steelers got creamed. I mean, it was absolute wipeout. 36-10, I believe, was the final, and I don't even think the Steelers did really score until like halfway through the game. So obviously, it was not a good game for Pittsburgh. So if you're the Steelers, you've got yourself an opportunity here, but I don't think the Steelers are going to make this happen. Yeah, that was right. I'm an idiot. Chiefs are gonna probably, it was 36-10 the last time. Chiefs will easily win once again. I don't think there's really much question about that. And that sets up some really good second round matchups, as we have the Cincinnati Bengals heading to Tennessee, and then we have a rematch of the Nfc Championship game between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs in the Divisional Round. So that should be a lot of fun to watch. But let's start with the first one. We have the Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals. It really just depends solely on whether Derrick Henry is playing or not. If Derrick Henry plays this game, which I am going under the assumption that Derrick Henry will be back for Tennessee, and if he is, I think this is going to be a win for Tennessee. I believe the Titans will. I think the Bengals will give the Titans all they can handle, and they'll make it close. But Cincinnati does not have an answer for Derrick Henry. I mean, neither does any really other team in the country. Neither does really anybody else in the league either. So I think Cincinnati, they fall victim to Henry in his first game back, and they'll give the Titans a challenge. But I think the Titans move on to to the the championship game. And now we have a great game here between the Chiefs and the Bills and the other divisional game for the AFC. This is going to be a lot of fun. And this is not one you want to miss. Bills head back to Arrowhead. Once again, these two facing off. Last time they played, the Bills had 9-0 late to start the game and then just completely fell off a cliff. I don't think that happens in this one. I think once again the Chiefs and Bills are going I think the Chiefs and Bills are going to be in a dogfight for this game, and either team can win. I'm not going to say the Bills are going to win or the Chiefs are going to win, but you know what? I'll take the Chiefs. It's going to be close. A lot of these games are really hard to choose, but I think it's anybody's game. I give it to the Chiefs by half an inch. A last second field goal kind of game. I mean, take anybody. It's flip a coin. Anyways, we go to the AFC Championship now. We have the Titans and the Chiefs. Derrick Henry will be back for the Titans, which really tempts me to take the Titans. I don't know why. But we have the Chiefs here as the 2 seed. This will be in Tennessee. It's going to be a fun game for sure. I think it'll be competitive. Derrick Henry definitely is basically the leader for the Titans. He is what makes the Titans run. The Titans also are going to be banking on whether or not A.J. Brown and Julio Jones are actually healthy, which neither of them have really been the entire season. So that hasn't helped Tennessee either. Based on their health is really going to be the difference in this game. But I'm taking the Chiefs. I think they're on a mission. They had a slow start to the season. They have been rolling lately. Yeah, they lost to the Bengals earlier in the season. But this is a very good. This is a good Chiefs team, and I think a lot of people really don't pay attention to how good. Really, come on. Okay, I guess I won't do that. I think many people really underestimate how good this Chiefs team really is. And I guess that kind of sounds weird, but this is a good Chiefs team. They had a slow start. They were 3-4. You know what? Their record is 11-1 in their last 12 games. They've lost one game, and it was to the Bengals, who were on a tear at that point. So, this Chiefs team is really good, and the playoffs are a lot different from the regular season. I think the Chiefs win this one. It's not going to be like the first time they played Tennessee. I'm not a big believer in Tennessee. They do have Derrick Henry. He's very good. He's a great running back. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to be enough to beat Kansas City. I don't think their defense has it in them to knock off the Titans. Or I'm sorry, to knock off the Chiefs. Anyway. Now we go to Super Bowl 56, which will be over in SoFi, and we have the Packers and the Chiefs. Can Pat Mahomes win another Super Bowl, or does Aaron Rodgers finally get a Super Bowl win? This is going to be a pretty solid game. I think the Chiefs are going to bring their offense. Their defense has really stepped up in the latter half of the season. Their offense has been pretty solid as well. So I think both of these teams are going to make this probably one of the better Super Bowls that we've seen in a while. But I think Rodgers does it. He's been hungering for that Super Bowl win for a long time. And I mean a long time. And so I think finally Aaron Rodgers, he's been wanting it. He's been waiting for it. He's been waiting for his chance. I think he gets it this season. He knocks off the Chiefs in a really high scoring game. I think the defenses are going out the window in this one. It's going to be touchdown after touchdown. And it's going to be fun to see these two playing against each other. Obviously, I'll be rooting for the Chiefs because I don't want Aaron Rodgers. Probably will neither will the rest of the league unless you're a Packer fan. But it should be a really fun game. But I hate to say it, I have the Packers. Their defense is playing well. They've been playing much better. I got Green Bay. I hate to say it, but I don't see who stops Rodgers this year. I think he finally breaks through and gets that Super Bowl ring. So that does it for me. And in this episode, we'll get some more episodes out to you soon. Probably will be some NCAA football stuff, or maybe even it probably will be college basketball stuff too. You'll probably never hear me talk about Michigan basketball because I do not want to talk about them right now. No, I do not. No. At the moment, of course, MLB is we're not Tiger City, but at the moment, MLB is in a lockdown, so there's nothing going on. Might not be seeing MLB episodes for a while until something happens. Hopefully, something happens soon because we're getting close to training camp and spring training. So if this lockout really goes into that, the MLB could be in trouble. But that's it for me in this episode. We'll get some more videos out to you soon. See you next time. Adios, everyone.